Hello and welcome to our 6th episode of Dragonbane, which I keep getting confused and calling Duckbane. Dragonbane. We are following the adventures of our mallard hero, Quackbane, not Duckbane, as he is proceeding to assist Stonegaze at the church at the top of Deepfall Breach to clear the breach of the cultists and to rebuild the Worldbreaker weapon to help defeat a demon. Though Quackbane, much the same as me, hasn't really read that far, so doesn't really know what the end is. Quackbane is just here to make a coin. If you are new to the adventures of Quackbane, welcome. Good to see you. If you have been here before, hello again. Isn't Quackbane an interesting fellow? If you are a subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It assists us very, very much, and I really do appreciate it heaps. Those subscribers, thank you so much. If you would like to like what I'm doing, do hit that thumb and like it. If you have any comments or you'd like to make any suggestions or anything at all, do hit them down into the comment section and I shall respond to them. So, we left Quackbane in episode 5. Going off to the town of Outskirts, where he took his comrade Gorum, who was an orc he found down in the breach. He was actually asked by Stonegaze to find Gorum. Gorum knows where the cultist's base is, which is what Quackbane is being asked to do next. So Quackbane and Gorum have returned back to the church, which is at the top of Deepfall Breach. This is Deepfall Breach here. This is the map that comes with the Dragonbane box set. It's a really pretty map. It's got all the Kickstarter's names on the back. It's a really pretty map. So we've got Outskirts. It's about a day's travel or 2 shifts from Outskirts to Deepfall Breach. And we have returned to Deepfall Breach, and Quackbane and Gorum, who are kitted out. So Gorum now has some brand new boots, as the town guard suggested that Gorum needed boots to continue wandering around town. He also has a new set of studied leather, and he has a short sword, as we couldn't afford a scimitar. If we can find a scimitar or we fight anyone with a weapon, then we might give that to Gorum. Gorum has what a standard orc would have, which is an awareness of 10 and an evade of 8. As Gorum is an NPC, even though I've given Gorum the will points that the book, the bestiary, suggests for Gorum as an orc, he's not going to use those will points. 12 hit points, standard, plus D4 strength damage. He's got an awareness of 10, an evade of 8, and skill with swords of 12. We now have Quackbane, who we went through last episode. Quackbane going up a level between missions. Quackbane has also purchased some studied leather, which I haven't written down yet. I'll do that now. And what the studied leather would do is it means that it will mitigate 2 points of damage whenever Quackbane or Gorum has hit. But they both will suffer a bane on sneaking on their sneak rolls because of the leather knocking together, I suppose, and making sort of creaking noises. Don't ask me. And so we are back at the church, the temple, above the Deepfall Breach. There's some stairs at the back that go down. Stonegaze will have flashback scene. Stonegaze will be speaking to Quackbane and to Gorum, and telling them, basically, I'll read the bit from the book. I will be your DM and I will read a little bit in the book, which is in quotes and in italics, so I know it's safe to read you. My gaze is fixed upon the cultist subterranean outpost, Quackbane. Is it? There find ye Arok, the devotee of demons who wears the Worldbreaker shard as a medallion. Does he now? Wrest it from them, so we may remake its power for good. All right then, fella, no problem. And so I suppose there's a bit of coin in this for me, is there? And then Quackbane will continue down the end. Now, one of the things that Stonegaze will say, just as they're going into the spiral stairs behind the old piece of the old tapestry at the back of the church. At the back of the church, very old. There's a smell of musty, mouldy books, as a lot of the books in pews have gone wet with mould, which is rain is dripping from the ceilings. Everything is candle or oil lit, so there's a slight burnt sootiness in the air and the coating of the things around. There are various different religious, iconic tapestries hanging from the walls. One at the back can be pulled aside carefully, because otherwise it will fall apart. which exposes some stairs that leads down, spiralling down into Deepfall Breach. As they're about to go down those stairs, Stonegaze stops them. 1 second, young Quackbane.
What's it now, Chief?
The chasm is restless today. Magma churns below. Be quick, lest the breach unleash its fury into your path. And what this means is when the threat activates, that's when this turns to 6, flowing magma will burst into whatever scene that they're doing, or the next scene, basically, that makes dramatic sense, and will cause chaos. So whatever the next scene is, there will be chaos ensuing because of magma flowing into the scene. So how within the core book the solo campaign works is we have put a multitude of points, waypoints for our mission, and some of the waypoints we have a statement which kind of is evocative, and we can glean what we could see or do some rolls to try and work out what we see, and some of the waypoints are unknown. This allows us to progress through a solo mission and still be very creative and not really know what happens next. So for instance, the second mission, the Cultist Warren, has 7 waypoints before we get to the final waypoint called Ritual Chamber, which I haven't read any of them. And 2 of those waypoints are unknown, point 2 and point 3, where we will roll. So our first one is titled Stone Moor. This great earthen visage is twisted and warped by time and the chisels of cultists, evoking a fanged monstrosity whose gaping maw presents your entry point. Icy oh, all right. This is Stonegaze. So Stonegaze gives statements, but we will say, so what Stonegaze...
Alright, yeah, go on, lad. So what Stonegaze has told us is that he can see blood dripping from those wicked fangs, but he cannot see if this vision is real or prophetic. Oh yeah, you fella, we might have a great big snake to have a fight with. Is that alright with you?
Not really. No, I do not like snakes. Quackbane, my duck friend, I do not like snakes.
Don't you worry, fella. We'll deal with everything that comes.
So, as they're going down the spiral stairs, there are various different little alcoves and little points that they can come off of. And Stonegaze has told them to come out at, I don't know, the third one down, or the third one with a blue glow around the stones. And so, dutifully, as they've reached the third one with the glow around the stones, they've peered through, and there's a winding, very thin piece of a stone, like a chasm, as the breach has split open, or water has caused this to be eroded away, that they're going to have to try and squeeze through and move through.
Making this all up on the spot, fella. Just making it up.
So they're going to have to squeeze through. Now this isn't so bad for Quackbane, who's not very big, being a mallard, but still he's got his flappy feet. But we'll make him make an agility roll to see if he can squeeze through. But Gorum may have more problems, being big, bulky. Now he doesn't have stats for that, but he doesn't have an evade of 8. Now if we look at Quackbane's evade, and Quackbane has an agility of 12. So I reckon Quackbane is going to be more agile and then Gorum. So they're going to attempt to squeeze through these bits and see if they can get through and approach this stone moor. Then we'll do some rolls on the Oracle and see if it's prophetic, i.e. it's just a normal entrance, but the blood dripping down is of a massive snake they're going to have a fight with, or there's a nest, possibly. Possibly, that'll work. All right, now let's do this first. First off, they're going to need to try squeezing through, and if they can't squeeze through, we're going to have to try and work out a different way of doing it. So, Quackbane will say,
all right, fella, you're back. Let me go first. I'll have a bit of sneaky. Go forward, see what's there.
And so he's going to go forwards first. Hopefully this is the low dice. He's got an evade of 12. 16, so he can't squeeze through. You could try pushing it. We could be our first push, but then he's going to have to take. All right, he's going to try and be exhausted. So he's going to keep pushing. So basically, he can't get through, and he's a bit embarrassed because it means that he can't get through, which means that Gorum might think he's not very good. I'm switching d20s. So he's going to try again to push through, and this is going to sort of start tiring him out. 18, he still can't get through.
All right, fella, I can't get through this gap.
Let me try. So now Gorum will try pushing through, and he's even exhausted. He didn't get through. Gorum's going to try pushing through with his 8, and he can't get through. All right. So we've got this narrow gap that they can easily amount to get through, but they're not being able to get through. So what we might say is, we can't get this way. This is the way that Stonegazer's told us to go, and we can't go this way. So we've got a choice. We can go back up, and we can try and ask Stonegazer if there's another way, or we can try and use, I don't know, maybe bushcraft might do something, because we like trying to find a way around it. Bushcraft might sound like it's quite all right. Or we could do spot hidden, see if we can spot another way through. But I think bushcraft works for me. But due to this taking longer, I am going to say our threat goes up due to the fact that we're taking a bit long. I'm going to need to colour these in. This is one of my children did this many years ago, but it looks kind of unprofessional for a content provider. So I'll get some white paint and fill those in. So what he's going to do, he's going to attempt to go through. Now he is going to panic a bit, and he's going to spend 3 will points to sing a little song as Gorum goes first. He's going to say,
Oh, we've been on the beers and been on the pie, and our tummies have filled up too far, but we suck in those guts and draw in those other bits. We might squeeze through and get by.
And then Gorum will attempt to roll with a boon under 8. Oh, he gets a 6. So Gorum, giggling at the song, he's going to feel more thin and push through. Quackbane goes,
All right, fella, now it's my turn.
And gets a 6 as well. And Quackbane is also able to squeeze through. So both of them then manage to squeeze through these gaps and going through as Quackbane, as Gorum is tittering to himself and whistling, cheerful and sucking his guts in. They all sort of push through the crack, and they come through an opening at the other end, which opens out into, and this is the bit that we need to know, what do we open out into? Do we open out into is this prosthetic, i.e. is this actually a carved entrance to the unknown warrens of the cultists, or have we stumbled upon a snake's nest? And then I have to look up if there's snakes. So is this a cave entrance? It's complicated. So it sounds like this is a cave entrance, which, so just to reiterate, so what these are dice that come from a Munchkin expansion. We have a symbol on that looks like this and a symbol on that looks like this. This idea came from one-page rules, Aliens, the role-playing game, which is also a free league game, which I'm going to try and get my hands on and see if I can play solo at some point, if I've got the money. And what we do is if we roll a green symbol, it's a yes. More than one is an extreme yes. Every single one is cancelled out by red, so that would cancel out and be a yes. If we get no symbols, it's complicated, which means that we lean towards a complicated answer, as there's probably a high probability of it. Is there? Probably not, is there? Because we get 2. Anyway, well, I don't know the probabilities. Somebody can work them out. So that's complicated. So what we're going to say is that we've come through and there's torches hanging on sconces, thank you very much, Mr. Crumbly, or above a moor of a snake which has been carved into the side of the rock, and there's this big chasm with a thin pathway which leads across onto the other side. So we've come through onto a flat part, very much like the chasm that Luke and Leah swing over. And we can see it goes down a long way, and across there's a thin pathway that leads across onto the other side, where all of this mess has been formed in front of this entranceway, and we're going to have to go through this mess, which is clearly some form of nest, to get into the caves and then go down into the cultist warrens.
Go on, fella.
Yes, Quackbane?
You sure it's the right way?
I'm sad to say, Quackbane, we have to go through that nest and into that entrance of that cave, and that's where we will find the cultists.
Ah, that's a shame. Snakes. Do you have to be snakes?
Quoting the classics. So let's see. Give me a second. I'll see if there's any stats for snakes. All right. So what we have is we have lizard people. So this is in the bestiary, the new book. I couldn't find. Does anyone know the person who did the core book or the bestiary personally, or know of them? And do they have a thing about snakes and a phobia about snakes? Because There are no snakes that I can find. If you can find snakes, chuck it down in the comments. I can't find any snakes, just snakes. Could be a giant snake or little snakes. No snakes. And you've got to think about snakes. Giant spiders, loads of giant spiders. No snakes, bit strange. Anyway, so we have two choices here. Inside this nest could actually not be a nest, but could be a home for some lizard people. And we could have a fight against a bunch of lizard people, or try and sneak our way past, or try and perform and con our way past, or this thing could be what we'll use is a sea serpent, which is in the bestiary book, and we will convert the sea serpent into a normal monster level serpent. So basically we've got a choice between a fight with normal people or serpents. So I think, what do we want? We really want a yes. So we should always lean towards asking a question that gives the most interesting answer. And sadly for Quackbane and Gorum, the most interesting answer is this is a nest of a giant snake. So is this the nest of a giant snake? No, it is not the nest of a giant snake. Ooh, good. That means we're going to say this is the, we're expecting it to be the nest of a giant snake, but actually we're going to knock up a handful of hunters, maybe one fighter and a couple of hunters of lizard people, and they're sitting around a campfire as, actually we won't even knock them up, we'll just flow straight in. So what have we got? We've got hunters, they've got an awareness of 12, an evade of 14 and a sneak of 14. Okay, I tell you what we will do is, okay, let's give Quackbane a chance to spot. So Quackbane, let's do, so Gorum first, awareness of 10. Failed. Okay, Quackbane has an awareness of 11. So this is us rolling just their awareness. Okay, nat 20. All right, so definitely they're completely unaware. So natural 20, completely unaware, and in fact, we're not even going to give the lizard people a chance to spot them. They spot them because Quackbane is so positive that it's a giant snake that is a bit scared, and he's going, all right, Quackbane, don't be scared, Quackbane, it's gonna be all right. Let's go. And they're attempting to sneak, but he's singing quite highly, and Gorum's going, shush, shush. And the lizard people then, as they reach the platform, they notice that actually it's not a nest. They're like huts, but all pound into a mound. And stepping out, we'll say there are 2 hunters and a fighter. They've come out. They're there for, I don't know. Maybe they're exploring. They're exploring the breach, for all we know. These can be player characters, and as they can be player characters, I would say that they can speak a common language just about. Let's give them a chance. Let's say that they can speak a common language because it makes it... Oh, you can have a merchant one as well. Okay, so we've got... I'll write this down. So we have 2 hunters and a fighter with a merchant because the merchant knows stuff from stuff. So we've got 4. They're all coming out. They're very... Let's show you what they look like. Not hanging upside down though. They're standing. They are wearing no armour. They have bows across their back. Maybe the 2 hunters have got their bows out and they're pointing them at Quackbane and Gorum as they come across. The fighter has a short spear, which he's got, and a shield, which he's got ready. And the merchant is just standing there with his hands on his hips. The merchant's got bluffing and bartering. Oh, there's a shame. Oh, okay. So I'm going to give Quackbane. Now they've seen them, I'm going to give Quackbane a check. What can I give him? Because I want Quackbane to... If Quackbane can work out this is a merchant, Quackbane might go, all right there, hello, I might be able to get some stuff out of this geezer. So Quackbane's going to come across. What's he got? He's got no bluffing. I'll give him an awareness. We'll make it an awareness check. He's going to try to be he's going to roll his awareness to see if he can spot and work out that he is a merchant. I'm going to give him boon because Quackbane is a bard and he hangs about and he's got those sort of skills, so he might be able to spot. What we've got? We've got a 4. Actually, both would be under his awareness anyway, but he's got a 4, so it's clearly under the awareness. So he's going, oh, all right, Gorum, hold back a bit. Hello there, fellas. Are we out for a bit of a tradey? and the merchant's going to look a bit confused.
I don't know. We might be able to help each other out. There's no need to get all airy with the old bows, isn't it? Who's the chief here? Is it you by any chance, fella?
And he says, looking at the merchant,
You look like you know what's going on. How about you tell your mates, stick their swords and bows down, and we can have a bit of a chinwag, innit? Might be able to help each other out. We're here looking for stuff. We can flog it to you on the cheap. How's that?
So he is, shall we call that a bluff? He's attempting to bluff the dude into believing that he is, that they're what he just said, what I just said. So he's got a bluffing of 13, 11, success, okay. So the merchant goes, put down weapons. Come, my mallard friend, come. I have some things that we might trade. So anything that's like super common. So they might have some dried fish. So maybe Quackbane is going to, Quackbane's going to buy a lot of rations. So basically 2 rations worth, because I think you can carry 4 rations and it's all amounts to 1. So Quackbane's going to buy 2 rations worth. So they'll have a chat and they'll go, so you're here adventuring?
Oh, yes, fella. We are here. We're going to look around for some good stuff and we're going to take it up and flog it. But are you here to buy stuff?
We are, but why around here? There are lots of cultists here. They're not good. They're bad people.
Oh, yes, fella. You know that geezer up there?
Oh, the priest?
Yeah, him. Well, what he's said to us, he's given us a bit of information around here, but we don't know what comes after this, because we're going down there.
Oh, don't go down there. They'll kill you. No one come back from there. I don't know why I've given him that accent. It sounds like I'm playing cowboys. Right, anyway, what are we doing? Rations. How much do rations cost? I can't remember from last time. 1 silver. So he's done 2, which is 2 silver. Quackbane is going to pay over the odds and he's going to pay 4 silver, leaving him only with 4 silver, because he's going to hope that that's going to actually win him over, and he is going to attempt to persuasion. He's going to attempt to persuade, and we'll give him a boon because he spent twice as much. Persuade the merchant into giving some information, because we don't know what comes next. Giving information about what comes next. Maybe if he knows, does he know? First off, does he know? He will definitely, if we win, he knows about the next one. But does he know about the next 2? These 2 cancel, so so that makes it complicated. So, do I know about what comes after here? Yes. So what he will do is, if Quackbane can persuade him, we will get half the rolls about what's down there, and for at least for the 3rd one, we need to then roll it to make sure it's true or not once we get there. So first he's going to try and persuade him. We've got a persuasion of 13. We get a 4 and 4. So we successfully persuade him in giving him some information. So we will roll now to find out what comes next, and then we'll be able to prepare ourselves for it. So our next spot, which is spot 2, this is what we are told. So what does the merchant tell us? He will say, first off, we need to find out what comes next. Now what we do is we roll a d4 to see how many we get. 2. So the merchant is going to say there's 2 things. What the merchant will tell us first is about this next area. He will say that there's a danger and 3, an oddity. So the area, he will tell us that the area is 10. It's a workshop. So there's a workshop up ahead with a danger 14, which is imperiled adventurer. So there's an adventurer who's gone ahead, who hasn't come out, and 14 is the oddity, sentient door. All right, I'm going to roll something else as well. Let's go environment. 17, skittering sounds. Okay, that helps. We've got spiders. We've done spiders before. Skittering sounds could also be insects of some kind. All right, so what do we have?
before you 2 days ago, a brave adventurer came through. She was on her own, but she was a ranger, skilled ranger. She went down the tunnel and then we heard screams, her screams. And every now and then, I'm afraid to say, we hear shouts for help.
So, what we're going to say...
Inside the workshop, there's an animal. We don't know what the animal is, but it makes a strange sound as it runs around on many feet. Oh, not spider. No, I don't think it's spider. Oh, fella, you should have seen the spider me and the other geezer fought. It was a big spider. And inside is a door. You will have to convince the door to open.
Quackbane will then say,
Oi then, fella, that's really helpful. Thank you very much. Alright, Gorum, do you think we know enough? Not sure I like what I hear, but yes.
So they will then move off from that first entrance bit. Now, if we remember rightly, we'll be able to bring stuff back to this merchant and sell it to him. So, number 2, he says unknown, but we now know that we're moving down, and as we move down through this entranceway of the open moor, we can see that the sides are shored off as though it's a mine, and various different doors open up on the sides. Would we increase that for that conversation? We sat down, we had a chat. Do we want to increase that because of that? I don't think so. No. So moving down, we are going to start moving. We're going to try and move stealthily. Let's give Gorum... Gorum will stay back and Quackbane will go forwards. Now we've got stealth. Sneaking is a 6. And we're wearing studded leather, which means we've got a bane. So he's going to try sneaking down. 5 would have made it, but it's a bane, so we take the 16. So Quackbane he's attempting to go slowly, but he keeps kicking stones, and he doesn't notice that because he's so busy looking around and checking on stuff, that he doesn't notice that there's still some tools laying around, and stubs his toe.
Oh my! Oh God! Oh.
Gorum will catch up.
You noisy. Oh, sorry, fella. It's that hurt, that did.
And they're going to continue sneaking down. Maybe we'll end at that bit when we find out. So they're going to come to things are going to be more busy. There's going to be more tools and various bits of points. And ahead of them, they will see that there is what looks like a small workshop which has been left for quite a long time. And inside the workshop, this is the bit that is it going to be spiders again, or can we find some other form of skittering type creature? Something that skitters. Giant spider, yeah, we know about giant spider. Where's our bestiary? How about ant people? I've got 2 thoughts. One is ant people, which is another bunch of people that we might be able to talk to. They count as monsters, apparently. Yeah, how about, they've got, so ant people are small. Oh, look like this. This is a picture of the ant people in the book. So how about that there's some ant people in here? So ant people count as monsters, so they have the monster attack, but they have a ferocity of 1, which means they go once in a turn. And we can have like a handful of ant people, so a D4 plus 1 ant people. That seems fine. Ant people, or I was thinking maybe a ghoul. But I think ant people are more interesting. So we might be able to talk our way out and talk our way through. They have armor. They've got hit points of 8. They'll be quite, to fight against a handful of ant people. Gorum and Quackbane will have if they fail some rolls. All right, so Quackbane's moving too noisily, so Quackbane doesn't get the drop on them, but he's going to sort of try and look in, and he's going to see that instead of all cobwebs in the workshop, there's various different mounds of... there's not mounds, it's basically it's old and it's dusty, and it looks like there's a little camp has been set up in the corner of the room, and around the camp there are 4 ants, ant people, that seem to be standing there, and they're chattering to each other, Now, I don't think that Duckbane will be able to have a conversation with the ants, but he might be able to do some miming, or the resonance of his voice they might find interesting. As he enters the room, so what we'll do, yeah, all right, we'll keep going until something happens, and then we'll cut down. So he enters the room, and the ants turn to him and stand up. Quackbane didn't sneak effectively, so they're not going to get the drop, and so he's going to walk in and attempt to go,
All right, hold on. Don't panic. It's all good. Don't worry.
Gorum will run up at this point and stand behind him and do what Quackbane does. Now, the question here is, do the ants understand what Quackbane is doing, or do they charge in? Now, there is beast law. Beast law, if Quackbane can roll a beast law roll, then he has remembered how to work with the ant people and what he's read, and the ant people will listen. If he fails, the ant people will automatically think he's being rude and offensive and will initiate an attack. 5, Quackbane has succeeded on a beast. He's got a beast law of 10. Quackbane's going to go,
all right, don't worry.
and the ants, instead of attacking, just stand there and sort of attention, and they make clicky noises at Quackbane. Quackbane is going to attempt to, we will make him do a beast law with a bane. He's going to attempt to communicate that they just want to get through, and that is where he might notice a female. So what she'll be? She'll be an adventurer, one of the ones from the bestiary book. She is a cat woman. She's a cat woman, a cat person. So she's a cat person, tied up. She's been stripped down to her undies, and she's tied up with all her stuff piled up next to her. And the ant people seem to be having a conversation about what to do with her. So Quackbane is going to attempt to communicate in making clicky noises. Is he being offensive, or does he succeed? So he's got a beast law of 10. We've got, so 2 would be a success if it was a boon, but it's a bane, so it's the highest, which is an 8, which is success. So Quackbane remembers some clicks, and he can basically say some basic words. So Quackbane will say, please let past, and he's going to point to the door, which is sort of look, it seems to be, it's obviously the door they're meant to go through. It's big, it's imposing, it's got big brass knuckles to knocker on it, sort of a thing that can clearly form into a face so it can communicate, and it's a big imposing door. And so he has communicated to the ant people, please let past. And the ant people, let's make him do a persuasion roll, a 13, just a plain. 8, success. The ant people will look a bit nervous, look at the cat woman, and she's looking pleading, like, what are you doing? What about me? And Gorum will go,
Quackbane? Yes, fella. Quickly though, because I think I've got this handled. I think we're going to be let past.
yeah, what about her though?
Who?
Her in the corner.
Yeah, what about her?
Are we not going to do something to help her?
Fella, we've got a job to do here.
Oh, Quackbane, we can't let her stay. That's not right.
Oh, mate.
And that's where I might end it there, because then we don't know what Quackbane's going to do. So we've got a cat woman, ant people, door. Do they go through or attempt to? Because we don't know what the door's going to do to stop them. Or save the cat woman. Now the benefit of saving the cat woman is somebody else to join the party and help them continue forwards and help Quackbane hopefully. But we'll see what Quackbane decides to do next session, where we rejoin Quackbane and Gorum down in Deepfall Breach, attempting to find the parts of the Worldbreaker shard in Free League Publishing's Dragonbane, the re-release of the 1980s game, which is pretty awesome. Hope you enjoyed. Hit that old like if you enjoyed. Otherwise, all that stuff about subscribing I normally say at the end, I think I say it too much, which takes up too much of your time. If I say it too much, do put it down in the comments and I'll stop. But anyway, I'm not going to say it this time. Instead, what I'm going to say is, I will see you next week for more Dragonbane. Have a good week and bye.